I'm honored to have some time with all of you to share my perspectives on digital transformation in a more practical perspective. And Sanjay set it up very well in terms of the trends that we're focused on. First slide, please. I think this slide sort of sums up 2020. The insurance industry's digital adoption surged 20% over prior year, almost 4 times the compound annual growth rate of the prior 4 years, transforming carriers to trailblazers. And for those of us, as we think about digital transformation in the insurance sector, have we ever thought about ourselves as trailblazers? But that's where we are. Next slide, please. We're no longer in a world of digitized things, and to sustainably grow in the insurance space is to be truly digital. Here at Chubb, we see digitization as an end-to-end transformation across the value chain, tightly coupled with the customer experience. While efficiency is often a priority for us as we look at our processes and how we digitize them, the end experience leads to a more effective process journey. So when I talk about efficiency versus effectiveness, efficiency is sort of the cost saves that hopefully come out of some of the use of emerging or available technologies. But ultimately, it's not customer experience and the employee experience are really driving that transformation across the digital channel. We measure our processes at a straight through process level and think about those level processes in terms of what is the outcome for the customer or the employee at the end state. Next slide, please. Here at Chubb, we think about 3 trends shaping our future insurance in a digital world. The customer experience, as I talked about, is the centerpiece of the digital transformation. And as I'm talking about the digital experience, I am talking about both our distributors, our employees, and the end customer. Then, thinking about in the middle, COVID, which is a crisis that has become a catalyst. And I'm going to talk a little bit more deeply about that and how we've seen the opportunities emerge both on our product side as well as on our digitization side. And then ultimately, as Sanjay said as well, the digital enablement from APA, ingestion, extraction, taking an approach to that ecosystem as a platform approach to that ecosystem. Those are enablement technologies, and really we're being driven by what can we do from a business process, a business capability, and end state business perspective as we look at that ecosystem, but certainly a very strong focus on how we think about that ecosystem and take a platform approach to that ecosystem across our global estate. So as you think about how you operate across those dimensions, think about new operating models, again, the customer-centric approach and cross-functional teams. When I talk about new operating models, I'm talking about target operating models that focus on digitizing the end-to-end journey or the end-to-end process. That involves as much the leave behind as it involves the actual operating model. What are the new skills? How do you teach people to become owners of processes or capabilities as opposed to just thinking about management of people? How do you bring data skills to your employees? And how do you think about managing the new KPIs in a digitized world? All of that is driven by, again, a customer-centric approach. What are the things that customers are expecting from us, and how do we measure that customer-centric approach? And then doing it with functional teams. We've structured our organization globally with transformational product owners. They bring a hybrid skill of both process, business knowledge, and technology savvy, including a deep understanding of data. And we're building those transformation owners across all of our 54 country global footprint. These are our new change agents as we think about those operating models. The other thing I'll say that we've learned through our journey is when we think about our operating models, we need to scale and we need to make sure our processes are consistent to gain advantages of the technology. Again, that was outlined in the trends in the technology. The implementation of the technology and non very not cost. Then when we think about those dimensions, we want to apply those dimensions consistently across the value chain and measure the digital journey across that value chain. What are the new KPIs we need? What is the percentage of the journey that's automated? What percentage can be augmented by machine learning models? And ultimately, where can AI come into play? What we don't do is take a small piece of that level one process and say this piece of it without thinking about the whole. What we will do at times is we will look at the process and say this one can be automated in these 5 areas. Then we'll come back and do what I call a sweep and say, what did we learn now from the data we're collecting on the process? Where can we apply our machine learning models? And also, where can we apply other automation tools to automate or digitize that opportunity across? As we think about COVID as the catalyst, we have to stop, obviously, and recognize that 2020 has been an unfathomable year of human and social suffering. And as we think about coming out of that in the future, it will also be a catalyst for change. For example, we probably won't travel the way we've traveled in the past. So how do we think about the travel products that we offer, the travel insurance products that we offer in the future? And what are the demands right now for those products? And what will be the demands of those products in the future? That requires a transformation agenda that allows us to digitize and automate, as well as bring new products to market in a digitized fashion very quickly. Also, we see demand for straight-through process in areas like claim. I'm sure many of you have experienced that as well. Adoption on e-payment kind of capabilities, particularly on larger claims, has been slow to emerge until people are faced with a COVID type opportunity or crisis, as you would think about it. How do we enable our partners in the future? How do we make sure that, as we share partners and third parties, that they're also enabled and ready and resilient, thinking about COVID as that crisis? Next slide. Further, consumers are driving hard towards digital through the pandemic, and that is not going to go away. In Chubb's recent study of small and mid-sized business owners, 67% of consumers expect enterprise to invest back better. So as you think about small and medium enterprise, the expectation for them is to invest back better by customers. Their expectation of us will be able to handle that. I thought I'd highlight just a moment that Chubb partnered with Accenture on in terms of small and mid-sized businesses and how they are thinking of the implications post-COVID to insurance. First of all, very, very heavily focused on digital-first communication. About half of the respondents are focusing on demand delivery of products and prioritizing those products and services to meet the needs of their multiple generations. Again, harnessing the power of data, including adopting cloud technology, is on the minds of all of our small and medium-sized business enterprises. And investing in AI is one of their top 3 priorities. Supporting a transformed workforce and thriving in a global market as more and more look to become multinational or global players. And the B2B sales model just got turned on its head as well. So as we think of our engagement with our agents and brokers and the third parties that enable us in that value chain, the expectation is just as strong in B2B as it is in the consumer retail space. Next slide, please. I'll leave you with a conversation around digital enablement from our approach to API to a broader ecosystem. Chubb did announce that the release of our Chubb Studio, which is our digital platform allowing digital service and digital distribution in a box. That can be easily partnered with third parties or alternative interesting distribution channels. And as we think about the future, there will be new ways that insurance is distributed post COVID, particularly, and accelerated. And how we wrap our services or easy integrations is just as important as the business processes inside of that box. Again, to reinforce, while digital transformation is not a technology journey, it certainly is being enabled with speed, given the availability of the integration technologies now at all of our disposal. It gives us a lot of challenges around legacy systems and movement to cloud to be able to do that at scale and across a global footprint. However, that is key to us being able to offer the customer experience in the effective way that we think about that for the future.